Nothing is as it appears on the surface. Every story has at least two sides, and unfortunately it's only the winners that get to write theirs in the history books. But what happens when neither sides are victorious? When the public are the ones left to piece together what happened and the truth becomes that of mob mentality? This isn't the story of PBBV. This is the story of those two aforementioned sides and their journey through the perfect storm.
There have been reports of a salmon-colored monkey roaming about that can ban you from the popular VR MMO Gorilla Tag. He was last sighted on the bridge repeating the phrase PBBV in an almost demonic tone. The GPD warned citizens that if seen to vacate the premises and to notify authorities immediately.
The year is 2021 and it's early June. 12-year-old artist MCMC, formerly known as MaxConner, wakes up and slaves away at what will become his latest and greatest hit single, probably Best Bop and Vibe, otherwise known as Unfortunately, the public's reception of it was lackluster. However, when you had a laugh, does that really matter? But hey, before we can go forward, what we need to do is go back. Mid-March 2021, ChippdBanjo and his friends started deviously plotting their next big project. Originally, his at the time unnamed ARG was planned to be about a hacker that would flash lights into his victims' headsets, causing them to have seizures. Then he would track them down via their IP and murder them while they were vulnerable. Problem was that him and his friend didn't feel like it would be interesting and decided to drop the project. That is until 5 months later, on August 2nd, when Gorilla Tag released the music patch, which added the sirens throughout the game. Seeing the sirens, Chip conceived his PVARG. In this alternate reality, there is a urban legend of a rogue radio frequency broadcast that knows all of your fears. It is later found to exist in the game, where it would broadcast itself to unfortunate players, overwriting their files and turning the game into the things of their nightmares. He swiftly gets to work on his magna opus, releasing the first video of the series, Radio Connect PV, on August 6, 2021. A day later, however, he decides to change the title to Radio Connect PBBV, since unlike PV, PBBV sounds more like a radio station. But hey, do you know what would be super funny?
PBBV stands for
MaxConner realizes the viral potential of the prank that he just pulled and decides to take to the biggest cesspool on the internet. Reddit. He creates a throwaway account, VRPlayer100, and with it on August 7th, one day after ChippdBanjo uploaded Radio Connect PD, and the same day that ChippdBanjo changed the title to PBBV, MaxConner posts his original PBBV Creepypasta. So, what's going on here? Did ChippdBanjo change the title of his video and ARG to capitalize off of MaxConner's success? Well, that wouldn't make any sense because they have two very different stories, and Chipped didn't even have a Reddit at that time, so I doubt he would have seen it, and neither of them had any success. I mean, look at Radio Connect PBBV's analytics and you'll see,
My name is JManCurly. I am
JMan,
a
what are you doing?
VR
JMan, stop!
gamer.
JMan!
Wake up.
Salmon-colored PBBV. ChippdBanjo, the guy who started it all. Direct link between the ARG and PBBV. The megaphone's involved in this.
See, honestly, I'm a little confused myself. VR player Reddit post, but its size are now completely different.
We have our conclusion.
There's still more out there.
Tracer was my girlfriend. I have to get Overwatch.
JMan mixed the two very different stories up and presented it as one. Why? Well, one of three reasons. One, he could have done it for views, or the video was rushed, or the final and most likely reason is that there was just too much misinformation. But that doesn't matter. What does matter is that ChippdBanjo got not only all of the credit, but he also got the weight of being proclaimed the creator of MaxConner's Creepypasta, which as a result muddied his ARG, ruining all motivation and continuing it. On top of that, he was the one who was mostly blamed for starting the cringe Creepypasta craze, which, as we all know, resulted in a sudden increase of malicious modders. while this was all happening, MaxConner was busy having an existential crisis. Imagine you've made something that people love and that everyone is talking about, even your idol, but no one believes you when you say that you've made that thing. Instead, you get called names and you're forced to watch the person that you look up to interview someone else in your place. Imagine being a 12-year-old kid going through that with all the frustration and stress that follows. Needless to say, as a result, MaxConner was not very fond of ChippdBanjo, and ChippdBanjo wasn't very fond of Max either. Both thought that the other ripped off of them, and the DMs were never ending. After a while, they both even made rant videos about one another. However, as if following the 5 stages of grief, they each eventually reached acceptance. Acceptance to the fact that this was one of many cosmic coincidences. I wanted to end this video with a MaxConner interview, but while writing the script, I couldn't shake the feeling that it would just be wrong. The kid looks up to JManCurly more than he does to me, and honestly, I couldn't think of a more poetic way to end this chapter in his life. So, JMan, Julian, if you're watching, please reach out to me so I can get you in contact with him. Thank you all for watching. Hit that subscribe button, but only if you want to.